extra. So I turned out to meet you.
Hello, anyone there? It's official, I hate Facebook. Don't ask, Donna. This is a family show, and I don't want to swear. But I'm a little stressed, to say the least. And it's hot, and I got my fan going. Oh, dear. How is everyone today? Hope you're better than me. Sorry I'm a bit late coming on today, but Facebook wouldn't let me do a live because it was going on about two-factor authentication and it was driving me bloody potty. Morning, Deborah. How's Steve today? Morning, Sarah. Tiredicious? What's tiredicious mean? Does that just mean you're tired? But in a posh way. Yes, it is rather hot, isn't it, Deborah? I bet you're melting. Today's going to be the hottest day, apparently. Hottest day of the year. Morning, Bev. I could do with a cutch now. Is he still in hospital, Deb? Or is he back out again? Good morning, Mum. This camera isn't in the right position. Just have to wiggle it a bit. Oh, he's still in hospital, is he? Oh dear. Not good at the moment, is it? I will give him our best anyway. Thank you, Donna. Couldn't really see it very much in the post that I put on Facebook because it's gold on black, gold embossing on black. Didn't really show up that much, but you can see it a bit more on there. So I'm going to show you how I did this card, and I'm going to do a slightly different version of it in today's Facebook Live. The reason we're on today rather than Tuesday and Thursdays because we're back, no, Tuesday and Friday, is because we're back open in the shop again. So the shop is open Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday from 10 till 2. So you can still do your contact lists store pickups. If you order on the website, you can still do order on the website for deliveries, and we've also got guidelines in place for safety for customers that want to come into the shop and have a browse as well. And I did do a video yesterday, a Facebook Live, so that's on our Facebook page if you want to have a look at that and see how it works. Good morning, Carolyn. Coffee, 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 coffee. Hello, Bev again. You obviously went off. So, if you wouldn't mind sharing this, that would be lovely. I wonder if I can share it into Phil's group. Shall I share it into Phil's group? Yeah, why not, eh? Yes, so I'm going to be using some of the lovely Phil Martin Sentimentally Yours stamps, the Roaring Twenties. These are the ones that have been designed by Trudy Howard. Yeah, designs by Trudy Howard. You always know the ones that have been designed by Trudy because they're in a pink. There's a pink cover rather than a blue one. So there is a link that I've pinned to the bottom of the feed as well. Good morning, Tracy. With most of the products that we're using in today's live as well. We had the Roaring Twenties stamps in. I knew they were going to be popular, so we did have them in last week, I think it was, and we have sold out of a few already. So if anyone does want, we will hopefully be able to do a reorder. So if anyone does want a particular stamp that isn't in stock, then let us know. But if you do want a particular stamp and it's in stock when you look on the website, if you want to pick it up from the shop, do order it for store pickup, and then as soon as you pay for it, that product will then be allocated to you, so no one else can snaffle it. Whereas if you just say, oh, can you leave this aside for me, then if someone else orders on the website in the meantime, then they might get it before you. So that's the safest way of doing it, is to order it for store pickup or order it for delivery if you want. So yeah, so there's a lot of really nice stamps. That's the Deco fan, which is the one that I've actually used on this card here. So that one was designed by Phil. So that's a grey rubber stamp, A6 size. Then there's the one that's been designed by Trudy Howard. That's called Straight Up Stripes. That's a grey rubber one as well. It's a background stamp. Then we've got, these ones are all clear acrylics, clear, what do they call it? Photopolymer stamps. Yeah, photopolymer stamps, these ones are. So these are DL size. So decent size stamps, and you get lots of nice sentiments and things like that on it. So they're fab. Love that one. So that's Ritzy. I'm going to show you them all. Some of them are out of stock, but I'll just show you them all anyway. So Ritzy, all dolled up, is that one. Putting on the Ritz, that's a fab one, isn't it? Very 20s style. Ain't This Grand, that's a nice one. I love that one as well. He's got very long legs, isn't he? Cool Cat, another one for the men. All That Jazz, which is that one there, which is the one that I'm going to be using today. And then there's some nice bigger size stamps as well. So there's the Deco Extras, which are fab, you know, everything on there is just going to be just brilliant. I mean, the feathers are lovely, aren't they? So they're really decent size stamps as well, so there's a nice selection in there. Deco Corners, which again, you know, corners are just so useful, aren't they, for all sorts of different cards. And the Deco Borders, which again are fab. I love them all. The only problem I've got with them is trying to decide which one I want to use. So those are the stamps. While we're talking about Phil as well and Sentimentally Yours, we have got set 3 of the watercolor brush pens. They've come in. So I think we've still got 5 sets left. So we had 10 sets in and we've got 5 sets left, and they only came in at the same time. So some really nice colours in there. Morning Delia, morning Diane. Yeah, so and then in this one I think you get a flat tip water brush, and then you also get, because you always get 2 water brushes in the sets, and then you get a nice pointed fine tip one as well. I love the pointed ones. We've also got the water brushes on their own as well, so if anyone wants the water brushes, we sell it. There's a set of 3 flat tip ones, and there's a set of 3 fine tip ones, and they're from Sentimentally Yours as well. So set 3 is available now, but I don't know how long it'll be around, so if you want it, grab it. So that's that. Right, so another quick swig. Right, so I'm going to do a slightly different version of the card today. I'm actually going to use a lot of our customers will recognise this. This is our A4 sheets of backing card, the black and gold card that we actually printed ourselves. Really nice, and I looked at that and I thought, oh, that will go perfect. That's a really nice sort of 1920s Art Deco sort of style. So so I'm going to be using some of this. I think it's 200 gram, and it's really nice. It is printed on to silk card, so it's got a nice sort of silky finish. So really nice quality. So I'm going to do a similar sort of card to this one, but I'm going to just change it up a little bit, just because I can. So the card is on a website. It's on the link at the bottom. I think it's 30p a sheet, so it's not going to break the bank. Morning, John. How are you today? All right. So yeah. So with this one, I used gold embossing powder. So I stamped with the Deco Fan stamp, which I've cleverly put away. There we are. So the Deco Fan stamp, and then embossed that with gold embossing powder. So all around the back, and then I stamped the lady image, and I've done some corners using the Deco Corners stamp set, which was that one, and I used that one there. It was a bit of a challenge trying to decide which one to use, because I just love them all. They would all go perfectly well with the card. Good morning, Susan. How are you? And then the sentiment for you was from the same stamp set as the lady. All that jazz. The for you, because there's for you, there's Dollface, and all that jazz, which I'm going to be using today. Best wishes, swanky party. So a nice choice there. So the first thing I'm going to show you, and the other thing I've used as well, just so you know, is we are out of stock at the moment, but I am going to be using, I have used the double debossed rounded corner rectangle nesting dies. by Sentimentally Yours as well. So I've used quite a few of those as well because I just love the edge, the double debossed edge just goes really well with the 1920s style as well. So if anyone wants the rectangles, we will be doing another order soon for those. I'm also going to be ordering the squares as well because someone else has asked me to order the squares, so I'll get some of the squares in. So if anyone wants either the rectangles or the squares, just let us know. Right, so crack on, shall we? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I actually worked out the background, the deco fan background, because anyone that watched Julia Watts's live the other day when she was showing, she was doing a live with Phil Stamps, this background doesn't actually tessellate, I think is the word, doesn't repeat. So it can be a little bit difficult trying to match it up if you want to stamp, obviously, because this is an A6 stamp. It's not going to fit. You might be able to get away with it that way, but you'd still have a problem in the middle trying to match it up. So what I did was, because I put a topper over the top of it at a nice jaunty angle, it doesn't really matter. You can see that they're not lined up, but it's not the end of the world. You don't really notice as a whole. So I'll just show you how I did that, how I marked it out. So what I did was I got my pencil. That was my backing sheet that was stamped in the deco fan, stamped and embossed, and then this was the other topper piece that I stamped my my nice lady on, and she actually fits just nicely, just at an angle. She doesn't fit that way because her feet fall off, but that wouldn't matter anyway if you wanted to do it straight. But she does fit nicely at an angle, which is why I did it like that. So just to match it up, how did I have it? I had her like that. So what I did, rather than stamping the deco fan all over this back piece and then embossing it and trying to match everything up, rather than doing that, I just got my pencil and then I just basically drew a little bit of a line just on the inside underneath this topper, on all four edges, and this is just as a sort of a bit of a guide, really, a rough guide. It doesn't have to be perfect, as you'll see. And then when you take that off, you got your four corners. So then what I did was I just stamped the image in that corner there first of all, and then that corner there, making sure that it was overlapping the edges there, and then I heat embossed that, and then I did exactly the same with the bottom two corners. So I did that one, stamp there, and then stamp there, and then heat embossed all of those, and then that's how I ended up with that. So underneath there, this bit in the middle wasn't heat embossed at all underneath there, so it was just the four corners that I ended up doing. So I don't think it looks too bad. I think I got away with that all right. Oh, so Mum would like the rectangles, and Donna would like the squares. Righty-hoo. I'll if Ian's watching this, all right, your order has been put in the book for rectangles. All right, so if Ian can make a note of it, and then when we do the order, we can make sure that we get those for you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that is how I did that. So I heat embossed those four corners, left the middle unembossed, And then when I actually put the topper on, I just stuck the topper on the top with some foam tape, and then you obviously can't see behind that, and you'd be none the wiser, would you? So, so that is that. So I'm not going to do that today. So what I am going to do today is I'm going to stamp and emboss my lady. I've got a piece of black card. This is just a scrap of card which just so happens to be exactly the right size, which is marvellous. Oh, Bev wants the squares as well. Marvellous, thank you very much, Bev. And the thing about the double debossed dies as well is you don't have to, there's no need to, you know, with some dies when you need to emboss them, you need to put them through the machine to die cut them, and then you need to put the rubber shim in and then put that through to emboss it. But with Phil's, with the Sentimentally Yours dies rather, the double debossed ones, you don't need to do that. When you put it through to die cut it, it will do the debossing at exactly at the same time. So that's good. So I'm just going to use a bit of anti-static pad. On my card first of all, just to make sure that nothing sticks. I might have put my fingerprints on it or something, you never know. So I'm just going to butt that up to the top, put my magnets on, and then get my little lady, make sure that my magnets aren't in the way, and then position her where I want her to go. So I'm going to stick her there. And grab hold of her. Oh, Tracy wants the squares and the rectangles. Don't blame me, Tracy. They are fab. So then I'm just going to ink her up with my, this is the Watermark translucent clear ink from Spectrum Noir, but you could use Versamark, or you could use Perfect Medium, or there are some other embossing inks that you can use. I think Wow does one, and whoever knows. So just going to give that a nice firm press to make sure that the ink gets transferred onto my card. And these are nice and deeply etched stamps as well, because obviously it's Phil Martin, so they're going to be good quality. Get my embossing powder ready. There we are. She looks lovely just like that, doesn't she? So take that out of there. Put my embossing powder on straight away, because in this weather it's going to dry quite quickly, I would think. So I need to make sure that it goes on. Looks like it might have dried already in a few places. It's probably not going to work now because it's just one of those days today. I just should have stayed in bed, I think. Right, so it probably doesn't help that I've got the fan on behind me as well, so that probably is drying it quickly. So quick spritz with some water and give it a quick wipe. So that's that. Morning, Alison. Right, so I'll give this a quick blast. And I did try heating it from the bottom when I did it last time, because Phil is always saying it's better to heat it from the bottom. I personally can never see the difference, but I'll heat this one from the top and then I'll compare it and we'll see. It's certainly quicker when you heat it from the top. Let's have a look, shall we? I don't know if it's because of the embossing powder, but I can't see any difference at all. I can't see any difference at all in how that has been embossed. Can you? Anyway, so that's her embossed. So then I'm going to put that back onto my backing sheet so I don't lose her. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut her out. So rather than leaving her like that, I could leave her like that, but no, I'm going to cut her out. And I'm just going to go roughly round. I'm going to leave a bit of a border. Because the other thing that would be nice, that Ian mentioned this morning, he said would be a nice thing to do, would be to use the opaque pigment ink pads. You know, the ones that I keep going on about, the Spectrum Noir opaque pigment ink pads that I absolutely love, because they would be really nice on the black. You'd get a really nice effect, I think, because they're opaque. They're gonna, the colours would still show. So I might have to have a play with that. And I've actually got 36 of the 37 colours now. The only one I haven't got is the white, which is typical, isn't it? The white is the one I really wanted, because I would love to see what the white looks like. But that was the only one that was out of stock. But I have all 36 colours now, so I'm sure I'll be doing another live at some point showing them off, because I do love them. They're very similar to the Distress Oxide ink pads. The only thing I'm I'm not entirely sure what it is. I don't know if it's because they are there is something slightly different in them. They seem to have a very similar sort of opaque, sort of chalky finish as the Distress Oxides. But I know when Julia Watts stamps with the Distress Oxides, she always says that she gets a better image when she spritzes them. But with the Spectrum Noir Spectrum Noir opaque pigment ink pads, you don't need to spritz. As when I first got some of them, I tried stamping with them, and they stamp absolutely beautifully. Really nice, just the most crisp image you can imagine. Really lovely. So there we are. So that's turned out quite nice, hasn't it? So that's her. So that's the thing. It's a really simple image, and as long as you go roughly around, I'm not happy with that bit there. As long as you go roughly around, leaving a bit of a gap, you don't have to be too precise. And then you get a really nice outline there. So that's in the black. You could stamp it in the white if you wanted to, and that would be quite nice as well. So that's that. What I've also done on my original card, I actually sort of made the card blank completely, basically, because I wanted to use Phil's Sentimentally Yours rectangles. I didn't actually have a card base that would fit it properly, so I just made my own. So what I've done is I've die cut our backing sheet, the black and gold backing sheet, in the one size, and then I've die cut a sheet of the gold pearlescent card, which is lovely. This is the Burson pearlescent card that we sell in the shop. We are currently out of quite a few of the colours, but I have just placed an order. So yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, might have been the day before actually. Yes, Tuesday. I placed an order on Tuesday, so hopefully that should be back in stock again very soon. So keep your eyes on the website or pop into the shop, and it should be in very soon. So that is that. And then what I've done is I've also die cut another piece exactly the same size as the gold in the black, because then that is going to be the front of my base card, basically. No, that's actually going to be the inside of my base card, because I'm just trying to remember how I did it. Yeah, so I'll show you what I did with the back piece, because I obviously need another piece that folds over. So what I did was I took a sheet of A4 black card, and then I've done a partial die cut. So instead of cutting around all four edges, oh, it hasn't quite cut there, I've done a partial die cut, so it's only cut around the three edges. So to do that, you put your die at the one end of your piece of A4, and then when it comes to the secret to do a partial die cut is to make sure when you put your top plate on, if I showed you sideways you might see it better, is to make sure that you only put your top plate up to there. So basically that means that anything past this, because there's nothing on there, none of that will cut. So that's why none of that cut, but everything else that was underneath this top plate did cut. So it's exactly the same with any sandwich combination from any machine, as long as you make sure that one of the plates, well, the top plate basically, is to the left of where you want that not to cut, if that makes sense. So, and then that was the biggest of the that was the biggest out of the Sentimentally Yours dies. So that was the biggest one that I used for the base card. Okay. So just need to make sure that, I think the reason that didn't cut there, I used the grand caliber, which isn't the best machine, and because it was right on the edge there, it always tends to have a bit of a, if it's got a bit of a speed bump, always tends to have a bit of a problem cutting that. So that was that. So this bit is now my excess, so I want to get rid of that, but then I also want to continue cutting down here so that it's not going to interfere with the rest of my card. So just grab my guillotine and then show you how I did that. So if you haven't shared this live, if you can share it for me, that would be brilliant. Either share it on your own timeline or share it in any crafting groups or anything like that that you're members of. That would be fabulous. So I'm just going to take this bit away because it's bugging me. So that bit we don't need. So you can see there that that is the one piece that has been die cut, and then I just need to continue this cutting line down here. So I'm going to put it into my guillotine. Obviously it depends on what you're using, if you're using a paper trimmer or a guillotine. Because this is a guillotine, I'm just going to butt it up against the cutting edge there, cutting boundary, make sure that that's in line, and then I'm just going to cut that little bit off there, turn it around, and then do exactly the same. So I don't know if you can see that, I'm trying to chop my fingers off, but I'm just basically butting this edge up against the cutting edge there, so I know that it's not gonna cut into that at all, and then I'm just going to cut that bit there. So make sure that's butted up completely. I don't want to cut any of that off. And then just cut that little bit there. There we are. So that means that that is now continuing along there. And it means it's not going to get in my way when I come to fold it. So now I just need to give it a quick score with my scoreboard, and then I think just line it up, and then wherever is a good place. So I think probably 16.5 is a good place to do the score there. So I'm just going to score that. And fold that back. Like so. What do you mean you can't do that, Mum? The extendy thing? I can't do that. Is that because you haven't got a guillotine? If you've got a paper trimmer, you can still do it with a paper trimmer. You might just need to just make sure that you do it by eye. So this back bit, let me just double check that I'm doing this the right way around. I think I am, because I wanted to make sure that you couldn't see this little back flappy bit. Yeah, so what I've done, that is going to be the front of my card, and then this piece is going to be the inside. of my card. So then once I stick that onto there, that is going to be my folded card. But it means that when you open it up, you don't see this messy flap. You know, if I did it a different way, if I did it that way, for example, then when you open the card up, you would see this messy flap on the left hand side, which I don't want. So that's why I'm going to do it that way. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a quick glue. Just going to glue my flap with my lovely original tacky glue. Which is fab, never clogs. And then just butt that right up to the crease there. Make sure my embossed or debossed lines are the right way round as well. The halfway cut. Oh, you mean the partial die cutting? Yeah, you can do it, Mum. You just need to make sure that when you put your top plate on, that you stagger it so that the piece that you don't want it to cut isn't actually over the die. Just have a bit of a practice. Just get some scrap paper and a die, a square die or something like that, and just have a practice, and you'll figure it out, I'm sure. I have every faith in you. There we are. So that's nicely stuck onto there, so it means that that's the front of my card, and when you open it up, you've got that nice double debossed edge, but it looks nice and clean, and then the back is where you've got the flap, so you're not going to see that. So then what I did was I stuck that onto the front of that. There's a little bit of a black edge down the end there, but I'm not really that bothered about that. I think it looks fine. Are you still watching, Ian? I could do with another cup of coffee. Not sure if he's out in the garden. We're still working on our raised bed bit at the moment. If anyone wants to order any wood for decking or 4x4 posts or anything like that, then I would recommend a company in Bristol called Decking Delivery Bristol. I think that's their website, deckingdeliverybristol.com, I think, or .co.uk, one of the two. That's where we got our 4x4s from for our raised bed. Is that lined up? Yes, I think that's lined up. There we are. So that looks lovely, doesn't it? And I do like that backing paper. I think that goes really well with that. There we are. So then what I'm going to do, I've got my lovely lady there. So I'm going to put her on some foam pads and raise her up. Then I've also cut from the nesting dies. I think this one was which one was it? It was the third from the middle. They go really small as well, you know. I mean, that's fab, isn't it? You can get, oh, it's just amazing. Yeah, so that's the third from the middle, and then I heat embossed all that jazz, which came from the same stamp set as the lady and all that jazz. So let me grab some foamical pads. So I definitely think I need to have a bit of a play with the opaque inks on black card and see how they come out, because you could You could paint her with the opaque inks. Quite nice, wouldn't it? But the beauty about these stamps as well is that if you don't want to colour them, if you don't want to do any painting or anything like that, if you're not particularly confident with that, or if you just want to do a quick card, you can do. You don't have to, because the beauty is in the artwork and all the embellishments that you can add to it and things like that. You can just simply just stamp and heat emboss, or even just stamp with just a plain ink, and that would be stunning just on its own, I think. Ooh, Deborah's just made a coffee. Oh, you lucky thing, you. I could do with a nice cup of coffee now. I can't see him out in the garden, so I don't know where he is. Right, so take my backing things off of this. Ooh, it is warm today, isn't it? I don't mind it being warm in the daytime. It's when the night time comes and it's warm and I just can't sleep very well. I'm terrible for trying to get to sleep. When it's too warm, I like to snuggle under the covers, and I can't when it's too warm. I don't like it. Well, so then I'm going to stick that down there, I think. Stick it there, or a bit higher. No, I think I put it down there. So that's her and that. And then the last thing I'm going to do is look for my, oh god, here we go, feathers, which are now going to blow all over the place. I wanted to put some feathers onto this because I thought, well, feathers are just, let me just angle my fan away a bit because it's getting a bit blowy. Feathers and 1920s just go together so well, don't they? I was going to use some white feathers, but we can't find them, and I forgot to bring some home from the shop, because we have got white feathers in the shop. I think we got a pack of white. We also do a pack of yellow. There are all sorts of individual colours that we can get, but I think those are the only two we've got at the moment. And then we also have the mixed ones as well, so sort of, I think these are guinea fowl feathers, and they're so soft and fluffy. So I'm going to put some of these just coming out from behind her. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a play, I think, and decide where I want to put them, because I want them sort of poking out. From behind there. Open your bedroom window. Our bedroom windows are wide open. We keep the bedroom windows open all night long because we got like netting stuff across them, so we don't get any creepy crawlies or flies or anything buzzing in. Yeah, but it's still It's because it's been very still, I think. So many feathers you don't even need to stick down. But I will. Oh, I definitely like the feathers. Yes. And then I think need to have three. Got to have 3 feathers. Can't do evens. It's got to be odds. Need to sort of get it going down there, I think. And then I think with my first card, I also used some nice gold pearls just to finish off the corners as well. Just a couple of nice simple gold pearls just in the corners. Oh, it just gives it a bit of, just fills a bit of space up, doesn't it? I think gives it a bit of a different bit of texture and interest. There we are. I don't think I'm getting this cup of coffee, am I? Right, so there we are. That's quite nice, isn't it? So, yeah, and then the only other thing that I did with my first card was when you open it up, I just put another. This was the I think it was the cream pearlescent that I used on the inside, and I just heat embossed, stamped and embossed a couple of the same corners that I'd used on the front, just on the inside, just so that there's somewhere to write a verse. Because obviously, if it's black, unless you're going to use a gold or silver pen or something like that, you won't be able to see the writing. So that's why I put that on the inside. So that was my first card, and that was my second card. So a bit different, just using the backing paper there, backing card, and a few feathers just for an extra bit of effect. They're from the shop, Deborah. We do, I think they're guinea fowl feathers. There's an assortment of colours in the guinea fowl feathers, and then we also do, if you just wanted just the plain white or the plain yellow, we do those as well. Oh, excuse me. I think black might be nice. If you did a black and white card, maybe black feathers would be nice. You might have to get some of those. So if anyone wants any different coloured feathers, let us know and we can order them. Thank you, Donna. So you've got all that jazz, and then when you open it up, there's the inside of the card, and it's just a nice, shows her off nicely, I think. And then that one was that one. Okie dokie, so that's all I'm going to do with that today. It's quite quick and easy, really, wasn't it? I mean, I know I already die cut some of the things out first, but you can do some really nice, effective cards relatively easily with these stamps. So the one I used was the All That Jazz, which I think we've still, unless people have ordered it this morning, we did still have, I think, 3 left in stock. So that was the All That Jazz. All the other Roaring 20 stamps are on the website as well. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, Deborah. Oh, lots of love. That's what we like. That's cheered me up, which is what I need. after getting stressed out first thing this morning. So that's everything I'm going to be showing with that card today. So thank you for joining me for that. Also, as a little side note, if anyone's interested, still on the same theme of Sentimentally Yours, you can tell we like his product, can't you? Anyone that's interested, we do have the new Sentimentally Yours stamping card making kit, special number 3 in. So I'll just show you this very quickly, just so you can see what's in it. So I'm sure we'll be doing a fun demo on this. I might see if I can get Ian to do one next week for that. So in the kit you get a nice nautical themed embossing stencil, and this is sort of A6 size, I think, so that's got a nice selection of things on there. You also get, if you look on the back of this pack where the stencil is, you get a die with a nice sort of, I don't know what you call that, a swirly thing, isn't it? Banner. So that is on the back of the pack with the stencil. You also get this really nice set of word stamps, and they are designed to fit into this banner as well. So on your birthday, for example, I won't be able to find it now. There we are. On your, and then birthday. So they're designed to fit into there. So that's really nice as well. That's an A6 stamp set, but you get loads of different words on there. And then, oh, the pièce de résistance is the stamp set, and this is an A4 sheet of stamps, so you'd pay £12.99 just for that, wouldn't you, really? So yeah, this kit is £12.99 incidentally, if anyone's interested. But yeah, I mean, look at that, lovely stamps. A nice lighthouse there, a nice mermaid, which I'll probably be using with my alcohol inks. I did a similar one with another lighthouse with the alcohol inks as well, so I might try that as well. Nice sailboat. You know, there's all sorts of things on there. Some nice net. There's a nice sort of just a splodgy thing, which would be nice as a background, but it could be sea spray. And then you could do an under the sea scene as well with the coral and the seahorse and the starfish. You know, and there's a rock there as well, so you can make up a nice rocky scene as well. Brilliant set of stamps, that is. Lovely jubbly. And then the other thing you get as well, of course, is the magazine. Nice substantial magazine this one is as well, compared to some of them. It's a nice thick one. And there's also some papers, some backing papers in the magazine as well. So you get some of these, which you can, these ones are designed to be able to be die cut as well with the die that you get. And then you also get all of these different backing papers. They are double-sided, unfortunately, because I don't like double-sided papers, but there we are. So, but there's some really nice things in there, nice designs. You can make some lovely cards, loads of lovely cards out of that lot, couldn't you? There we are. And I know Phil wasn't doing it because he said, oh, don't show anyone the back page because there's a sneaky peek of what's coming. Ooh! I'm not going to show you anymore. But needless to say, we will be getting quite a lot of those things, no doubt. There's some nice Christmassy themed stamps in there, some nice poinsettias and all sorts of things. So that is the, yeah, Gaynor will love that. Yes, Gaynor loves lighthouses, and I'm sure Annie will like that as well if she's watching. Yeah, so that is the Sentimentally Yours stamping special number 3. that we have got plenty of copies in stock at the moment. So if you would like one of those, go onto the website, and it will be in New In. If you go into the New In section, it'll be in there. Or I put a post on Facebook recently to advertise it as well. So yeah, so it's there. So if you would like a copy, and you're not going to be coming in for a while into the shop, then if you order it for store pickup, then at least your copy is reserved, and we can put it to the side, and you don't need to worry about missing out then. So store pickup is the way to go, and if you don't want to come into the shop, you can order it for store pickup, contactless store pickup as well, and then that's the safest way at the moment as well, with everything that's still going on. Saturday. Hello Jenny, how are you, by the way? Yeah, if you order it for store pickup on the website, I mean, we should still have plenty of copies by Saturday, because we ordered 20. I think we had 21 copies in. So we should still have some by Saturday, but you just never know. So thank you for joining me this morning. Sorry that I was a little bit stressed to start with, but I settled down eventually, and I think I made quite a nice card there. So hope to see you all soon, either in the shop or if you come for store pickup. So we're in the shop on Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturdays from 10 till 2. You can still order for contactless pickup if you want, and then we can just bring your order out to you, and then that's quite safe. Or if you wanted to come into the shop and have a browse, it's a 1 in, 1 out, and we've got hand sanitizer, and you don't have to worry about social distancing because you'll be the only person in the shop. We've got a sneeze guard by the counter, and we're asking everyone to scan their own products in to reduce any cross-contamination. And the shop is nice and clean. It's probably the cleanest it's been in a long time. So you've got nothing to worry about if you did want to come into the shop, and it will be lovely to see you. So that's it. So thank you again for your support. Thank you, Donna. See you on Saturday. Can't wait. Donna's going to come into the shop with us on Saturday, and socially distanced. Donna's Ian's sister. That's it. So I'm going to go and grab another cup of coffee now, because Ian hasn't made me one. And I'll put a photograph of these on Facebook as well, just so you can see them in glorious Technicolor. And hopefully we'll be able to do another Facebook Live, probably be next Thursday, I would think, because we're going to try and carry on doing Facebook Lives if we can, just to show off any products. So if there's anything in particular that anyone wants to see shown on a Facebook Live that you're not sure about, we'll see if we can incorporate that into something later on. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Mum. Thank you, Sandra. And we'll see you all soon. So take care then. Bye.